Hello, my lovely Libras. So, I'm actually really quite excited about this reading because I'm seeing you in a Ferris wheel. And then the Ferris wheel, I realize also, is the Wheel of Fortune. So, as I'm watching you travel up from the bottom of the Ferris wheel, each time there is a little bit of a stop. The car that you're sitting in shakes. And then it gets up a little further and it shakes. And I feel this is representing I would say really the last 4 to 5 years. I'm getting a feeling that they have been really challenging for you in a lot of different ways with these events that have really shaken your reality and your self-perception, really your self-perception. And so what I'm seeing as it's going up is that each time it stops, you kind of stabilize yourself and then you look around. And each time it happens, you're getting higher and higher and you're having a broader and broader view. And what it feels to me is that you are coming to the top now, where you're able to just rest and look around at everything. And what I'm getting with this, as I'm pulling the cards to do this, is I'm being told that lots of energy, you have done a lot of work, because each time you got shaken up, you didn't cry and scream to get let off. You stabilized yourself and you took the opportunity to really evaluate who you are and what's valuable to you. What I feel is that there was a lot of a sense of not feeling capable, not feeling able to cope. And that could have happened in many different ways for many different reasons, but it feels as though what you were getting perspective on as you were moving up was that you were able to cope. You were understanding where you had felt you couldn't. You were understanding why, and you were now developing a stronger sense of connection to yourself, because where you had placed your security or your secure self-image onto the people around you to reflect it back to you, what happened was that kept getting shaken up for various different reasons. And each time you had to go inside and you had to find a way to be able to really give yourself value, recognize your own identity based on who you are, not on who you thought you should be for other people or what other people wanted you to be. Now, some of this may have come from a sense of abandonment when you were a child. And abandonment does not necessarily mean somebody walking out on you, or it could be. But it more that sense that you didn't have a strong sense of grounding. And you're a Libra, you're an air sign, you need grounding. You need that sense of security in order to really establish and develop a strong sense of your character. And to be able to really, not just a strong sense of your character, but a strong sense of connection to yourself, where you are living really from your own internal space and not constantly looking for validation or connection from the outside in order to feel secure. You have made so much progress, and you're on this beautiful Wheel of Fortune, this beautiful Ferris wheel, and you're at the top because you've done all of this work. You're being asked, however, in this process, to really please forgive yourself. Because if anybody's going to be hard on themselves, it's you. It's Libras. You can be brutal to yourselves. And you really, really need to give yourself credit for how you've handled this transformation that you've been going through. I can almost guarantee you have developed characteristics now as an adult that has either completely transformed or obliterated some of the things from your childhood and young adulthood that have caused you to feel insecure about yourself and that you've questioned as valuable character traits. What I'm here to tell you is, whatever you went through, whatever qualities you didn't think you had, whatever abilities you didn't think you had, you've moved through it. You have moved through it. And the only thing you're being asked here is, please forgive yourself for having taken as long as you did, because you couldn't have done it any other way. You couldn't. And to fiercely, fiercely take kindness towards yourself as primary. That's part of you really deciding to put yourself first, to put your needs first, and to really keep connected and anchored to that central part of you, because that's where your stability is. Now listen, Libra, we can all lose that sense of connection, because that sense of connection is really very much linked to that higher conscious mind and positive attitudes and self-love and self-respect. We can all lose connection to that and to that sense of sacred in your life, in our lives. But because you've had a hard time with grounding in the first place, it's easier sometimes to fall back and believe the old stories. But you're being asked now to realize that you have the ability to really create a new vision for yourself with this new perspective. Because as you're looking at the world around you, as you're coming to the top of this Ferris wheel, it's not just that you're understanding the world around you, you're understanding you. And because you're understanding you, you're understanding the kind of world you can live in, the kind of relationship you can have, how you wish to experience yourself, how you can experience yourself in the world. Again, the forgiveness card, my dear Libras, whoever you need to forgive, if it's more than just yourself, please take this as an absolute indicator that this is a way to really increase your frequency, let go of old stuff, to really, really watch out how you talk to yourself, Libras. You really, really, really need to fiercely be kind. And you get the creativity card. But I just want to say something about forgiveness too. It doesn't mean you don't explore things if you need to explore them, but it's kind of letting yourself move more towards curiosity than blame. The tendency can be to have something come up and then immediately attack yourself or somebody else, but often it starts with yourself. So this is saying, forgiveness is about let yourself, instead of moving towards blaming and judging, especially yourself, you can get curious about it. You can understand what it was about your childhood that perhaps created some of this stuff, because I think that's going to be an issue for some of you, or has been. But it's also understanding, and that's what I think you're getting now, is you're at this stage, on this level of the Ferris wheel. You're understanding the nature of life, of loving, of forgiving, of that whole idea that we are here to grow. That's what I feel like has allowed you to really let go of everybody and everybody's judgments of you, or what you perceived, anybody's abandonment of you. This is you really understanding life and consciousness at a different level. And what does that mean about your Wheel of Fortune? That means that's why this is not just a Ferris wheel. This is you having done the work now. Your Wheel of Fortune, it doesn't have to stop and jerk all the time now and shake you up. Now it can start being smoother. And the downs don't have to be bad and difficult, and the ups don't have to be scary. They now can flow because you have dropped so much of what you needed to drop as you were being shaken up on the way up. Libras, this is a beautiful, beautiful reading. This feels to me like it's saying the Wheel of Fortune is now running in your favor, and it's running in your favor because of the work you've done and the perception of what you've done, the perception of what you've learned. For those of you who are still struggling with this, you're being asked to really please focus on forgiveness and where in your life that needs to be, because it's hard to forgive other people if we haven't forgiven ourselves. It's hard to forgive ourselves if we haven't forgiven other people. So for those of you who are still struggling in any way, especially if it goes back to your childhood and any sense of being left without whatever skills you need in order to be able to survive, or support that you need in order to be able to survive, you're being asked to really look at forgiveness for that. But overall, Libra, the Wheel of Fortune is in your favor now. So whatever stage you're at, embrace this because it's beautiful. And you know what? It didn't have to be a Ferris wheel. It could have been any kind of wheel. So for me, that's also a statement of fairground, movement towards fun, excitement, vitality. So I feel this is a beautiful reading for you, Libra. The Wheel of Fortune running in your favor. Okay? And congratulations. Take care.